headed southbound on a northbound yak and yak. And of course, right out of the parking garage, and I missed the stoplight. How cool is that? Water looks lovely way down in front if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. I can see it out there. Um, I'm a little late because I had to run by the lab and get blood draws done, and they were busy as hell with packed. One of these days I'll actually get in and out quickly, and uh, we'll take a drive down along the waterfront so you can see what's going on down there. However, today ain't the day. We're just gonna putter back around through these streets and hit I-5 southbound. Hey, the moose. Oh, no big deal, buddy. Although I set a record, I actually at one point had up to 34 people on this morning, and it kind of blew me away. I'm sure it severely pissed off City. I think she's still at a high spot of 28. So that was pretty cool, but I feel bad that I did it with her here. How's your day going? Hopefully it's going well. Uh, God, dawdlers. Just walk. One foot in front of the other. It's painless. Okay. Now hopefully you'll kind of get a look at the water again as we're going towards the downhill. One of these days I'll get out early enough that we can run down by the waterfront. But today ain't that day. It's already very warm here. I'd say we're low 80s at this point. Luckily, Sibby's not on here to correct me and make me look dumber than I really am. Of course, I don't have all those fancy gadgets in my truck that she has to tell her what the temperature and humidity is. So I'm just guessing unless I drive by a thermometer. See if we can make this one. Nope, we didn't make this one. No right turn on red. And that guy did it anyway. Oh well. Didn't get well. You two. I'll send them a nasty email. Hi, Christine. Thanks for stopping by, honey. Hopefully you're having a good day too. It's a beautiful day here. It's just too damn warm for my liking. I'm uh, I'm in shorts and a tank top, but it's far too warm. So I've got my windows up and my air conditioning on, and as soon as I get a green light here, because there's no right turn on red, we'll hit the freeway. Yeah, we're nowhere near as hot as you guys get back there, but it's too hot for me. We don't normally get really hot, although 4 summers ago now, we hit 114, which was an all-time high for Seattle. And that lasted about 3 days. Well, it lasted above 110 for 3 days, which was terrible. Those two left lanes are the beginning of I-90 headed towards Boston. Although there aren't many people that take it and go that far. Most people just go out to Bellevue or Mercer Island or Issaquah or Fall City or Snoqualmie or North Van. In the wintertime, they go up to Snoqualmie Pass and go skiing. Hi, Lee. Welcome back. Sorry I'm a little late. I had to stop in at the lab and get a blood draw done. I didn't think it would take that long, but they were slammed. So it took a lot longer than it should have. Get out through this little congested area here and get going. Yeah, 98 about kills me. I do okay up to about 75 a minute. It's just too dang hot. I've got a heat pump in the house, so we have air conditioning. The problem is the dogs like to be outside, and I bow to the will of the puppies. Hey Tiffany, thanks for coming by this afternoon on the trip back too. All right, we're out of the congested area now. We roll down the road. Should have a pretty good view of Mountaineer coming up here in a couple of minutes. It's a long distance view, but it should be good today. Virtually no clouds, and the smog isn't bad today, so we should get a good. And there it is. Man, a little smog. Should be able to see it off the distance though. 14,412 feet. Always wanted to summit that, but never got a chance to. Never put in the effort to do it. Um, there's an incredible set of ice caves up there. Um, always wanted to do that hike, but that one was closed down when I was still young enough and shape enough to do it. They had some collapses of parts of it, and they stopped letting people go up there. Not to the summit of the mountain, no. The highest you can go on with a vehicle in mountain air is a little over 10,000 feet. The area is called Paradise. Um, Um, my ex-wife, my first wife, we actually honeymooned up at the Paradise Lodge. It was a God. The whole thing was a mess. Um, we got married, stayed in town on our wedding night, and then the next morning, big expenditure was renting a Fiaros had just come out, the Pontiac Fiaro, and that was my big expenditure. I wanted to rent one and go up to Mount Rainier with it. All the twisty, curvy roads, and I now own an '87 Pontiac Fiaro, and it's quite literally a go-kart on steroids. Um, anyway, so we rented this car, and we had a blast going up there and driving around. We got up to the lodge for the first night in the lodge, walked in, put the suitcases down. Sarah sat down on the bed, and the bed broke. And it was just a comedy of errors after that. We were told that the prime rib was amazing. Didn't matter what time we went down for dinner or showed up for dinner, they were always out of prime rib. The first night we kind of expected it because we were late to dinner. But the second night we were like the fork in the door, and they didn't have prime rib. They were out. So you can imagine. Although we did a bunch of cool hikes. We actually drove over the top and down into Yakima, which is on the other side, and went out to dinner one night in Yakima. That was, yeah, it's a beautiful area up there. Stevie and I'll do a run up there. Hopefully, my foot will heal up eventually, and we can go up there and do some of the short hikes. There's just no way to do it on a knee scooter. Hi, Isabella. Thanks for coming by. Sorry, guys. I really struggle going this direction to read the chat. Coming northbound, the angle of the sun isn't bad, and I can read the chat pretty well. Going back southbound, the sun on the back of the phone. I don't know why, but my eyes don't focus right to see the chat really well. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for coming in. Anyway, doctor's appointment went well. She was pretty happy with it. Um, the new booth that we've been talking about for several weeks, we finally got to work. So that's going to help out, I think. We all think. Can't drive with, but that's okay. I got to take it off to drive and then put it back on when I get out. But it allows me a little bit more mobility because I don't have to be completely non-wayfaring. Um, Part of the problem is I'm duck-footed pretty badly, and so uh, it was to the point where when I put weight on the foot, it would put direct weight on the room. And there's two areas in the house where the knee scooter won't go. From the bed to the bathroom, and when I'm in bed at night and have to go to the bathroom, I have to walk that distance. It's not a big distance; it's only about 5 steps, but I got to do it. And then if I'm up and about in the house, I have to get the powder room by the kitchen, and I can't get the knee scooter in there. And again, it's about 5 or 6 steps, but I got to do it. And this will help with that a whole bunch. So hopefully this will make a difference, and we should see the results fairly. So that's exciting. great. Puttering right along in this tank of poison tank. Gotta love it. Um, what else is going on? I mentioned earlier this morning the passing of Tom Lear. Um, some of you probably aren't old enough to know who he was, uh, but that one hit me about like Ozzy did. He was a satirical comedian and musician. If you know who Dr. Demento was, you have heard some of his songs. Dr. Demento used to play him frequently. Pretty much probably the most popular one was Poisoning Pigeons in the Park, or the Masochism Tango. That was him also. So that was sad. He passed away yesterday or the day before. But I've been listening to him since I was a kid. My mom brought the album home when I was probably 5, the first album, and then I immediately went looking for the rest of the albums. Um, and if you don't know who he is, look him up. I promise you'll appreciate it. Um, yeah, he's got 3 full albums of very funny songs. Some of them are just okay, but some of them are flat out hysterical. UPS, hopefully it's something fun. All right, get over one more lane so we can hit 167 south. Yeah, all of a sudden we're getting more and more of these Tesla trucks up here. Just in the last 3 months, maybe. I mean, there was one that was down by Bonnie Lake, down kind of by where we live, and you see it every once in a while. You know, maybe a couple of times. Well, maybe once a month or every other month. And in the last 2 or 3 months, all of a sudden, I'm seeing them all over the place. But I never see them hauling anything. I mean, they've got that. I don't know if it's a tonneau cover or if it's a hard plastic cover that covers where the bed is supposed to be, but I've never seen one without it. I don't even know if they have a bed. Hey, Larry, thanks for coming in, buddy. But yeah, all of a sudden they're all over the place. And more, I'm seeing videos of people in Florida that are driving them out into the ocean because somebody from Tesla said that they floated. Some of them I see working, other times I see tow trucks pulling them out, which actually is kind of goofy. You put them in salt water, and lithium batteries and water don't mix. Things go boom when that happens. So I'm surprised we haven't had somebody blown up by it. Merge onto this highway and jump in the carpool lane and get the heck out of this traffic. There we go. Welcome back. Was it something fun, Christine? Anytime Stevie orders something, then I got to deal with the box that came in. Our recycle bin is always just full of cardboard boxes that I've cut up. But it gives me something with koi food. Well, that's a good thing. That's kind of fun. I wish my foot would heal up enough so I could get our koi pond cleaned out. It's nothing big like any of you folks have, but it's a cute little, probably 10 feet by 5 feet, about 5 feet deep cement pond. Um, it used to be a restaurant. Now it's half of a bar and half of an engineering firm. And we're going to go buy it. I'll point it out. There goes another Tesla truck. Um, we'll go buy it on the way up Eli Hill, coming up the Bonnie Lake. But anyway, they had a rainwater catch basin. They still have it. Um, but the guy who owned the building was from lived here most of his life now, but still had a very thick Swedish accent. Um, and in that rainwater basin, which was probably 20 feet by 15 feet and 10 feet deep, he had koi. And he did feed them like with koi food, but they ate mosquitoes and stuff, and larva things that tried to grow in the water. And he had some huge fish in there. And they just bred naturally. And anyway, I asked one day if he minded if I caught a couple and took them home, like a net for trout fishing, put it on a pole, and started uh, basically dip netting. And I managed to catch 4, 5, 8 inch long koi and brought them all home. So we have had some good sized koi in the pond, but that's when we discovered we had a local heron, which sucked. But um, yeah. Anyway, he sold the building to another guy. He and his wife wanted to move out of state and go to warmer weather, and that's what they did. They moved down to Phoenix. When they sold the building, what got me to be friends with him was I worked on the refrigeration in the building. Um, anyway, when the new guy bought the building, I did some work for him, uh, and he didn't even know. I don't know if he didn't know, didn't remember. I'm sure Petter told him that they were there, but he didn't seem to remember about them. And so when I asked to do it again, he told me I was nuts. Hi, Bern. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks, buddy. I'm working on it. Bern is my friend from Germany, and he's a moderator on another close friend of mine's Discord, and that's the food code. And I know I've told the story as my very first job as a real moderator uh, was on that channel, the food code. And I'd been friends with him for a long time. And when he finally decided to have mods, I got made a mod. The very next live he had, I probably blocked his mom. Which everybody else thought was hysterical, and I felt about 2 inches tall. It was purely by accident, but yeah, I blocked his mom. And of course, I couldn't figure out how to fix it because I had just started doing it. And luckily, some of you know Tiger, and Tiger solved my problem for me. And the rest of the night and the next several weeks, everybody made fun of it. And it occasionally still happens. If somebody pins a message and I'm watching on my phone, that pinned message will get in the way of the video. And so I'll dismiss the pinned message. And every now and then, I'm not paying attention. And the dismissed pinned message won't be there, and it says the next one that's there is blocked. So I arbitrarily block somebody. And it still happens. So I try to concentrate on if I'm dispinning something. Make sure it says unpinned message. And that would be a huge piece of advice I'd hand out to anybody that's a moderator. If you're going to mess around with stuff, be careful what you mess around with. All right, on the right, if you can see it, there's a black band that says oversized load, and that's a double-ended trailer. On the back end, there's a guy in that little silver thing driving the back half of that, and then a guy driving the tractor pulling it. And that hauls wing parts from one Boeing plant to another. Yeah, I'm kind of notorious for doing dumb stuff like that. Not to mention saying dumb stuff. I kind of wonder why Sydney puts up with me. But I don't kind of wonder. I do. But we have fun bantering back and forth. We're coming into Auburn. Auburn's only claim to fame is Emerald Downs, which is our local horse race track. They do a couple of big races a year there. And I've never been there to watch the horse races and gamble. I've been there a few times to work on equipment. But yeah, when it's a sunny day here, it's beautiful. That's for sure. Anyway, next week it sounds like I may have to go see the prosthetics people again to get adjustment on the boot. With the way they've got it set up now, uh, one of the straps is in the wrong location. So I got to go get that moved. So next week's afternoon drive will probably be a little bit later too. But we'll see. Just call on and make another appointment. And I try to coordinate these appointments so I don't have to go up to Seattle twice in a week. Not only does it suck, 2 hours, 2+ hours up in the morning and then back, but that's about $50 worth of gas. Hi, Des. Welcome back, honey. I haven't figured out what they're building over there yet. Originally, I thought it was going to be part of the light rail system. But there are areas where there's not enough space over there to run the light rail. So, not to mention they'd have to move that transfer station, garbage station. It's about a behind on light rail. And they've been working on it since the 1970s. Still to be this far behind, kind of course. That's our local politicians for you. The good news is, if you missed it from this morning, Jimmy did not get stuck at work for several weeks. Her new assistant that she's training had picked it up in 2 days' time, and Cindy actually got Sunday and Monday off, but she was on call, which is why we didn't utilize it, because there was completely a chance that she would have to go in. But she didn't have to. The gal did great, so we should be on track to be back live again next weekend. Oh, yes, thank you, Des. And I forget that. Yes, please double tap if you're on a phone. Yeah, she's pretty excited about it. The sourdough stuff she's been working on is coming to its culmination. She has a loaf of bread that she was proofing last night. It's in the fridge, and she's gonna bake it off tonight to go. We had spaghetti last night for dinner, and the awesome part about spaghetti is the second night you get baked spaghetti, which is amazing. Very easy to do. You take leftover spaghetti, put it in a pan, put a bunch of mozzarella cheese over the top of it, and throw it in the oven. And it's incredible. However, tonight we're going to have a fresh baked sourdough bread to eat with it. And although I dearly love garlic bread, this is going to be exciting. So yes, the sourdough stuff is coming to fruition finally. I think she's got 2 more videos showing how she's worked on it, and then one making the bread dough. And then we have to do one more filming of it going in the oven and coming out of the oven. So that's exciting. Just a second ago, we went past the sign that said Chinook Pass, which is one of the highest passes that goes over Mount Rainier. Incredible views up there. One of these days, I'll drag Susie's butt out of bed early and we'll go up to the top before sunrise and get some video up there. It's really incredible. There's points right up at the top where you can look all the way down the valley on the other side. And with the sun coming up, the light dancing off the peak, I, I, I can't even explain it. It's really quite amazing. Hi, Savannah. Thanks for coming in. Well, I appreciate you stopping in. Thank you. Absolutely, and drive safely. Luckily, I've got a phone set up that lets my phone just sit at windshield level directly to the left of my line of sight. So I'm able to kind of watch the phone and the road at the same time. If it was on the other side, I'd have to be cross-eyed to do it, which does happen, but not often. Also, like I said this morning, on Friday the 8th, I've got an appointment, uh, and that's going up to Issaquah, though, rather than Seattle. Uh, so that'll be a completely different route. Um, I'm going to try and do it, but let me get past the dump truck. Kalamata Olive. Sorry, I'm trying to read that. I'm struggling. Uh, she just brought some home last night that could be that, could be something like that. Text me that, Des, and I'll look for it at the store. Because I will not, I can't remember 2 items. I have to have lists for everything. Um, when Des was looking for salad dressing a few months ago that they weren't selling out there, I found it out here, so I got it mailed to her. Yeah, Siri gave me a list of one item, and I've got to write it down. So I'll get to the store and buy 4 of the things and forget what you're supposed to buy. then I've got a standing grocery list for Tuesday so that I can go down the list and remember everything I need to buy. Yes, when there's a product Jazz needs that's not in her stores anymore, we hunt for it nationwide. Hi, Chair Bear. Thanks for coming in. We'll speak now. Ah, we didn't lose it. All right, directly to the right is Burgers International with the koi pond. That's where it was. And they're probably still there. I haven't stopped by the look, but I would bet that reservoir is still full of koi fish. There's no way you'd ever get them all out unless you drained it. When I first found out about it, it was kind of funny. I came out the door of the restaurant. Well, it was a restaurant up top that had this incredible view of the valley, and then it was a bar downstairs, and they had a problem with both. So I came out of the restaurant and went down the stairs in between that tank and the building, and I thought I saw an orange splash in the pond. And so I stopped to see what I saw, or what I thought I saw, and I watched it for a few minutes, and pretty soon I saw like 2 foot long koi coming up out of the water. So of course I immediately stopped back in and said, Petter, what the hell is out there? Oh yeah, I got koi fish. And there's the beautiful view of Mount Rainier. I got a couple of views that are better than that on the way home. Uh, I had a phenomenal view on the way home, and a builder bought the properties and put in 5 houses, and so it kind of blocked the corner of one of the views. Um, but there it is in all its glory. As we get closer into August, if you look on the left side, it kind of looks dark and you really don't see the snow. The whole north side of the mountain will lose a lot of the snow coming off the north side, and it's already started. You can just, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see the white stringers going down the ridges, but a lot of it's gone already. Oh, I got to stop at the pharmacy too, come to think of it. So I'm not going to take you all the way into the Safeway parking lot today. I'm going to let you go just before we get to the pharmacy. But I will be back next week, and I will be around on Sydney's Live, as I always am. Somebody's got to run the cameras. And Sibby's birthday is the 31st, which is tomorrow. No, today's the 29th. I don't know what today is. Anyway, Sibby's birthday is the 31st. So if you get a chance to see her somewhere, wish her happy birthday. Thanks, lady. What a bitch. Pardon my French, but F her. That's okay. I'll just move up a little further and then cut you off, lady. Wanted to cut me off. I got a bigger, beefier truck. You don't want to play cutoff with me. I got more insurance and I'm a bigger dick than you are. And I don't care if I put another dent in it. Whoa, that was exciting. At least it wasn't the phone that took a ride. That was my good to go pass. The Velcro let go. Okay. Hey, Simon. Yeah, I'm working on the drive back home. I'm pulling into the pharmacy here in just a minute, so I'm gonna shut you off and let you guys go back to your lives and quit entertaining me. These used to be very boring drives up and back, and now I do this, and you guys are here to keep me company, and I like that. Plus, the nicest people I know are on YouTube. Some of the biggest a-holes too, but the nicest people I know are on YouTube. We'll see if there's a conga line at the pharmacy. If there is, I'll let it go a little longer. I could just mute you for a minute. Uh, Now to our left is Costco. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a line, so this could be pretty quick. Yeah, not to mention an eddy hole. Go ahead. I'm going to let these people cross, and then I will pull in here, and I will mute you guys for a second, and I will just keep it going for a minute. So I will be right back with you here in a minute. All right, we are back. Hey, Michael. Thanks for dropping in. All right, are we back? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Well, you can't see me, but can you see what's going on? All right, I gotta get my cards out of the bag. Then I can put that over there. Get my cards back in my wallet and stuff them back in my pocket. You love supporting me? Why? I'm just a dick with a camera. All right, windows up, and away we go. All right, there's Costco in front of us. Well, I appreciate you too, Michael. You run around and support everybody too. And I don't know what the deal was yesterday. I don't know why you couldn't see me. That was weird. I guess you couldn't see me in Tuber Chat either. And by the way, if anybody's here that doesn't know about Tuber Chat, it's a great way to get subscribers, find new friends. You just got to go in and talk to people. Well, look at that. There she is right there. Hi, darling. I got to stop so I don't run these guys over. They're not paying attention. Oh, you accidentally blocked me? We were just talking about that earlier, Michael. First time as a real mod, I accidentally blocked the channel owner's mom. Oh, okay. All right. Now we're going to run over to Safeway, and that's when I got to put a stop to it. I am not taking you into Safeway with me. I drive the little carts like a madman. Somebody would call and get me arrested. What's happening now? Have they not gotten her status yet? So you're not a manager still? Yeah, I like Safeway too. Plus, they just got new carts, and since I can't walk, uh, the carts are nice, and the new ones are fast. Take you a month of Sundays to get through the store with the old carts. On the suicide bag. Oh, nice. Was that one of your trustees or one of the idiots or both? Well, it's certainly a quick way to get put naked into a padded cell. Oh, it was one of your trustees. Jesus. Yeah, that's a quick way to end up in trouble. Uh-oh. Sorry, but I take advantage of the handicap spots, and I don't know that I've got an open handicap spot. Oh, there's one. Okay. Not my favorite one, but that one will work. Let this lady get into her car, and then I can snuggle up next to her and have enough room to get my doors open so I can load the truck afterwards. There we go. Hey, Kevin, thanks for stopping in. Unfortunately, we're at the end of the ride. So, just to let everybody know that's here, the appointment went well. They figured out how to make my boot work. I can't drive in it, but they figured out how to make it work, and they have one quick modification to make. So I got to go back to the prosthetics boot place and have that change made. Hi, Scully Pop. But the doctor was happy with my progress, and we're very happy with the fact that the boot is working now, and it will allow me some more mobility. So that's exciting. And with that being said, I got to run into the run. Yeah, I got to hobble into the grocery store, pick up a couple of things. Uh, Sibby needed some stuff to go with dinner, and I need some stuff. Yeah, it is kind of a dead spot in there. Sometimes you can't even load up the Safeway app in order to get your discounts. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. I love you all for being here. Thank you, and we will do this all again next Tuesday. Bye for now.